Today I'm turning a playground set into a house on Bloxburg. So if you didn't know, Bloxburg recently added the ability to add furniture on top of playground sets. So I'm finally going to be able to turn my dream playground into a house. Why? Because that is literally every child's dream, to live inside their playground. Since Bloxburg came out with this update, I actually haven't really had a proper look at it. These are all of the playground kits. We've got tunnels, stairs, slides, bridges, playground roofs, platforms, side panels, and a bunch of other things. We've also added these little half tires, a massive seesaw, a little merry-go-round. What else have they added? Oh, they also added trees! Oh my god! Y'all, Bloxburg added new trees. I get so excited when Bloxburg adds trees because, like, I never level up my gardening skills, so this is big news for me. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Before we turn this into a house, we have to start off with the actual platform. So these things are called playground platforms, and this is kind of going to be the base of our house. You'll see what I'm talking about. And I kind of want a two-story house. For example, we can place furniture down the bottom here, and then we can also have some furniture up the top. And instead of adding an actual roof, Bloxburg has these playground roofs, and instead of placing actual walls, Bloxburg even has these playground side panels, which is perfect. But we're also going to mix this up with basic shapes because, don't get me wrong, I love these side panels, but if we're turning this into an actual livable house, I want to add little fake windows to make it feel like an actual house. For example, here we'll have a semi-transparent cube. Fill in these gaps with basic shapes. Okay, why is this low-key starting to look like the nether portal right now? And then to make it look like an actual window, we can add these tiny little square beams. You guys do not understand how excited I was when this update came out. I was like, I can finally redeem myself. If you didn't know, last year I turned a kid's play set into a house. And if I'm gonna be so for all of you guys, I absolutely hated the way it turned out. I thought it was so ugly. So when this update came out, I was like, I could finally redeem myself. And just like that, we have a little fake window to our playground. But yeah, that's the concept that we're doing. But before that, we need to actually figure out how big this house is gonna be. Well, playground. House? Playground? What do I even call this? This is a house. Maybe we can have more platforms here. Wait, what else do we have? I keep forgetting we have more things. Oh, we got a tunnel. Oh my lord, stop. I'm excited, bro. Like, look at this, mate. We got a tunnel in our house. These tunnels used to scare the hell out of me. I remember, okay, listen. When I was younger, I went to the McDonald's playground, okay? This is the last time I ever went because it scared the hell out of me. I went to the McDonald's playground and I was playing hide and seek with my best friend at the time. I remember I was at the edge of the tunnel and I was waiting for them to come by. And then at the end, this random kid just pops his head in and starts running at me.
Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm scared. Oh my god.
I think that was the first time I ever experienced fear. It's kind of like an indoor-outdoor house. Like, I don't know how we're gonna be able to place furniture with all these little pillars. I mean, would we be able to place a normal roof? I guess so, but also I feel like we would hit our head. Okay, well, our house needs a bathroom, a bedroom, a kitchen, and a living room. This would be the perfect space to have our bedroom. I'm thinking down here, the bathroom, which means we can have a slide coming down here. And then this bottom section can be our kitchen. I know this sounds chaotic, but I promise I have a plan, okay? You just gotta trust the process. Maybe we can have two ways of entrance to our bedroom. We can go through this little tunnel and then it leads directly to the bedroom. And I think I'm gonna extend this platform just a little bit bigger. Then maybe we can fit the living room. Okay, now that we have a rough layout of what our house is gonna look like. Now, we need a fence around our house. We don't want any weirdos breaking in, you know? Okay, I was thinking, what do I have in this open grass section here? This can technically be the yard. And what does one have in their yard if they live in a playground? A merry-go-round. I swear I nearly died on a merry-go-round when I was younger. Last time I went on one, me and my friend like didn't know how to stop it because we were going too fast. And I swear that girl nearly yeeted me into another dimension. And I tell you, my 8-year-old self went flying. Usually when I turn something into a house, I lock everything up, but I want this to be very open in a way, but still very secure, so we would feel safe in our own house. So any sections where we're not gonna add furniture, we're just gonna fill these in with these little side panels. Now the next step is to paint this thing. So I want a Scandinavian house. Imagine this aesthetic, but for this playground. Yes, I'm going to be one of those sad, pathetic mothers that make everything beige and boring. God, why is this already looking so good? What? Hello? hello? My kids are gonna be living like Kim Kardashian's kids, for real. So I don't want the same color palette throughout this entire house, okay? For example, maybe the bedroom can be a little bit more modern than Scandinavian. So what if we make these tunnels out of bricks? Okay, but why does it look like the entrance to a sewer? Okay, fine, maybe concrete instead. I also love these little side panels that Bloxburg added. Remember, I used to conduct businesses. I don't know if you remember loom bands. I used to sell loom bands for pieces of dirt when I was younger, and now looking back, I think I got scammed. Be like, 1 loom band for 1 piece of dirt, please. Like, what the hell was I thinking? See, kids nowadays, they would have been like, yo, this is my PayPal. 20 bucks a loom band. Why the hell was I selling loom bands for 1 piece of dirt?
You cannot afford. Great success.
On a side note, inside of our playground is fully painted and it already looks so much better. Now we need to start making this into an actual functional home. Starting with these little custom walls that I made. Now, I'm not going to add these everywhere. I'm only going to add them in the sections where I think a wall would look good. For example, right at the front here. Tell me that doesn't look good. It actually doesn't look good because right now it's uneven. I'm also going to go ahead and add these to the side as well and underneath this little section. Except for this top section, I low-key kind of want this to be a balcony. But if we're going to add the living room here, we obviously need a roof just in case it rains. But if we add all of these playground modules, it is going to be way too crowded. Instead of a playground, I'm going to be adding a basic shape. Oh yeah, Mamacita already looks better. The only problem is right now, the basic shape is floating in the air. So the next order of business is adding pillars. And you know what I realized, guys? I technically could add just a regular wall here like that. The only problem is this section up here is going to be cut off. But I have a way to rectify this situation. So we place a regular wall. Just fill in the rest of this with a basic shape. And the cool thing with this, now we can add little tiny windows that have actual functionable curtains. Oh my god, Italic just joined my server. Hey girly poop. Watch the bet she starts walking towards me and judging. See, caught it. Caught it. She's judging me right now. Look, she's staring at my bit. How do I explain this to her? You know what I wish Bloxburg had? A doggy door. Even though technically Bloxburg doesn't have dogs, it would just be so cute if they added doggy doors. Okay, next up is pillars. I'm adding pillars on the corner of this playground so it doesn't look like it's completely floating in the air. And also the roofs to these playgrounds, they're low-key ugly. So we're gonna add some plain high arches. Okay, I think the structure of it's done. Well, kind of. We just need to add more of these right here so nobody falls off and dies. Would I be able to add a regular fence to this? Please say yes, please say yes, please say yes, please say yes. Okay, no. I hate my life. So this house right now is looking way too dark. So we're making this floor a little bit lighter, okay? Why is she just... She's just dancing. Okay, I've changed the color of the floor. And then down here, if this is the kitchen, we can make this out of tiles. The way I made this house is very confusing on my brain right now. Okay, wait. This little section here, what if we turn this into a garden? That would be kind of cute, right? The only problem is, if we go down the swing, we're going to fall directly into the garden. Okay, maybe this isn't a good idea. Might just have it here instead. I guess if we can't have it inside the playground, we'll have it just outside. This is technically the front yard, right? This is technically the front yard. And considering we don't know what to have in this little grass spot, I'm just gonna put a hopscotch. And for the front yard, we can have that obnoxiously fat seesaw. Okay, front yard's done, so now we can finally start decorating this house. I want to start off with the little entryway. I have never been so excited to decorate something more in my life. I think it's because I finally know that I'm able to add furniture. Because when I was originally going to do this, the only way it would have worked is if I placed basic shapes on top of all of the playground sets, and that would have just been annoying. You know how I usually have a console table for my entryway? Considering this house is made for kids, this is without a doubt the cutest little entryway ever. We can even have a little bean bag to change our shoes. And then opposite this, I don't know what to have in this little awkward section here. I could make this the bathroom, but technically the bathroom's gonna go downstairs. So maybe we can just make this a toy room. And good thing for the basic shapes, because now we can add wall lamps on top of them. I think this house would be perfect during summer, but as soon as winter comes, this house would be hell, especially at nighttime. Oh my god, I hate myself. You know what I should have made this house into? A blush house. Imagine a blush house that was technically made out of playground sets. That would be the cutest thing ever. And I choose the most boring aesthetic. Alright, well, this little section here is done. Now we have this massive section here, which is technically going to be our living room. But for this to work, we need more lighting. We're going to add some aesthetic fairy lights. You can't beat fairy lights. They're pretty cute. The only thing I hate about these fairy lights is that we can't change the photos on them. Like, who the hell is this person? And why is she in my house? Like, I can't even change her out of the photo. I don't know this woman. Also, why do I have just a random pole in my house? Like, what? Baby, that ain't Scandinavian. That's GTA 5. I have one problem here, okay? First of all, where do we put the TV? Second of all, how do we get downstairs? So I'm gonna fix this situation by adding another staircase right here. There we go, much better. I love how Scandinavian houses have those pillars. I don't know if you guys know what I'm referring to. And there you go, we have our beautiful little TV. I wanna add like a cute little mini TV table. Everything is so big. What if we add this console table? This is kind of cute and it fits the space. I'm low-key mad we couldn't add a fireplace in here. Okay, wait, I have an idea. What about this wicker fireplace table? We're keeping it. I don't care if it burns down this playground. Then our little mini coffee tables. Oh my gosh. Look how freaking cute this looks. Also, I don't care that kids can't sit on a freaking rocking chair. Yeah, they're too pretty not to add, so I'm adding one. Okay, I think that's it for our living room. I don't want to make it too crowded in here, but I do want to add a little tiny chandelier. Oh, never mind. We can't add chandeliers. That kind of sucks. I guess we're going to have to add these floor lamps instead. And we can also add candles for lighting as well. Okay, so living room is done. Now, if we go through this little seesaw, we are directed into our bedroom. The only problem with this stupid bedroom is that fat pillar right in the middle. Would a kid's bed even fit in here? Oh, this is gonna be a bit of a tight fit. The only way I could think of this working is if we add it right here. But if we add it here, then we're not gonna be able to use this little playground bridge, which, you know what? I actually don't care. So we're adding it. Shh, YOLO. Do you guys think hypothetically, all right, hypothetically, I could go back in time and live in a playground set like this? Probably not, but you know what I'm going to do as soon as I move out of my house? I'm going to build the coolest cattery for my cats. I want my cats to feel like they have their own outdoor playground. I have my little Samira on my bed. Speaking of my cats, guys, all I'm going to say is I have merch coming out soon and it involves my cats, Samira and Salem. That's all I'm going to say. And I think you guys are gonna like it. Yeah! Oh my gosh, guys, look how adorable this bedroom looks. Although if this was me, I'd hate the fact that I just have an empty section at the end of my bed. I feel like if I was sleeping, someone would just grab my feet and drag me out of bed. So I'm just going to add a little tiny curtain right here. That way we can feel like a little princess in our bed. Oh my gosh, no, stop. What a vibe. Hello. Okay, and the next thing we need in our bedroom is a closet. I'm gonna make a little tiny custom-made closet because unfortunately I don't think we're gonna have room for like a massive wardrobe, so we're custom making them as well. So this house literally has such a lack of colors that it's driving me a little bit crazy, so we're gonna have some pastels in our room, okay? And I don't want my kids to be fully depressed, only partially. I'm just kidding. Okay, there's our little tiny closet. Also, we just talk about Bloxburg's new update. Bloxburg has finally listened to me, okay? This is the biggest flex of my life. Bloxburg's finally listened. When we add coat racks, are you ready? Are you ready? We can put coats on the coat rack. No one talk to me. How insane is this? Bloxburg has finally listened to my prayers. I am so excited, I think I'm gonna explode! Next thing we have is the kitchen. So this kitchen is so awkward because there's so many pillars blocking our space. So usually in these challenges, I have to make sure it's the real deal, okay? No fake kitchens up in here, guys. Only the real deal or nothing, which means real counters, beverage fridge in case we get thirsty. On top of this counter is where we shall have our little mini fridge, and then sink, and pretty much make this like a real life kitchen. I hate the fact that I feel like I'm missing something from this kitchen. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm pretty sure I have everything that I need. It's so hard to add storage to such little spaces. So I'm gonna add these storage cubes to give us more space so we can add things like spices, just spices because it's actually a bit too small to add anything else. Wait, I can just add another one down the bottom and then I can place all my stuff. Duh. Sometimes I swear I only think with half my brain. Also, this oven is ugly. We're getting a new oven. It's probably so random, but I was just looking at it and I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I hate the look of it. Sorry, don't sue me. Another thing I hate is this sink. Sorry, this sink just looks better, okay? There we go. We've got a tiny little kitchen. And now we just need somewhere to actually sit down and enjoy our meal. We're just gonna use these tiny tot tables. This can technically be our dining room. Oh, very, very, very small dining room. Oh my gosh, look how cute cute that table is. Now that our cute little kitchen is done, we have one last room, which is bathroom. This is gonna be a little bit more difficult. We shall persevere. Good news is I'm pretty sure toddlers can just use regular sized toilets. If not, I guess they're gonna have to poo on the floor. I'm gonna add one more playground set just to give this bathroom a little bit more privacy. Like everyone and their mother could see us taking a shit. Okay, so toilet there. Sink right next to the toilet, of course. I want to add a mirror here, but the only way this is— oh my god! The only way this is gonna work is if I add a basic shape. See, I've turned a lot of things into houses, but you know what, guys? This has got to be my favorite one so far. It's so perfectly sized, so I'm not like completely struggling to add furniture, which is so good. And the good thing with playground sets is you can make them literally as big as you want to. So I honestly could have made this bigger, but I feel like this is the perfect size. Like you don't want it too big. Okay, now lastly, we need a shower. The only problem is the shower gonna fit in here? To answer your question, no. But good thing I don't take no for an answer. Okay, wait, hold on. If I add a little column and then added a shower on top of the column and then turn this low. Oh, okay, wait. Okay, guys, hold on. I think this could work. Oh my god, it works. It works. Oh my god, it actually works. I was not expecting that, but I'll take it. Then the last thing we're gonna do is just add one more semi-transparent cube for privacy. Love how I say we're adding this for privacy and it's literally see-through. Okay, what about towers? Maybe towers will give us some privacy. Okay, well, the last thing I'm going to do right now is fix up the lighting because it is very light in here, but as soon as it turns to nighttime, it gets super dark. So we're just gonna go ahead and fix up the lighting. Okay, so our playground house is finally complete. This is what the end result looks like. Honestly, if I was a kid, I don't think I would ever leave this house. Like the front yard is so cute. We have this little seesaw. I can't use it because I've got no friends, so it's literally just me. And then to get in, we've got to go up the stairs. We have our cute little entryway. It leads directly to our toy room. This chest is technically a closet, so we can like customize our character and change our outfit. And then over here, we have our lounge room. And the good thing is, because we're a kid, we can technically use all the adult furniture and we can also use the toddler furniture. And then to get to our bedroom, we have to go through the sewer. I'm just kidding. We've got to go through a tunnel over this little bridge. And then boom, we are inside our bedroom. And I don't know about you guys, but everything just looks so much better when you're the size of a kid. And if we want to go downstairs, we can go down one of two ways. We can either go down through the slide and get a concussion, or we can go down using the stairs, but it's up to you. Anyway, coming through here, this is kind of our outdoor area slash front yard. I don't know, it kind of plays as both. Stop. Why do I look possessed by the devil right now? Look at my face. Wait. What was that? Anyway, this is our little hallway that leads directly to the bathroom. I was so convinced that this bathroom was going to be a flop and we weren't going to be able to fit the shower, but we actually can. The only problem is when we use the shower, half of our body is sunken into the floor. But the good news is we can even have privacy if we want. We can shut the blinds and there we go. I am really impressed with this bathroom, but we have one final room to check out and that is the kitchen. Are we able to use it? All right, fry these hot dogs. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. This kitchen is fully functionable. See, and if we want to eat, we've got a tiny little dining room right here. There we go. We can enjoy our nice meal in our beautiful playset house. I've got to say, I've done a lot of challenges like this, but this one's got to be my favorite. We're literally able to use everything in this house. I cannot wait to see what you guys come up with. So if you end up doing something similar, please tag me. I want to see your recreations of turning this into a house. So I hope you enjoyed today's video and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.